And now, live from the palatial, spacious, gracious, but never ostentatious studios high above Gotham City, it's Zach DeWack.
Oh, it's just another manic Monday. Good morning.
Greetings, red-blooded verified Earth people and those with no check mark. It's me, the always dapper podcast babbler, your daddy-o cock block from the radio, and the monkey on the mic here running that semi-professionally trained tongue of mine. I am Zachary Ernesto Wagalina III here. Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to those of you from Rwanda to Uganda, Serbia to Suburbia, and all around the world. This is the often secluded, never diluted, always wacky, never tacky, hot rocket flamethrower to whack in the morning show. Live from the low-rent, sleazy, and measly Raymond Jam and Nut Hut Studios at the Dwag Shag Podcasting Megaplex at Peachtree Industrial here in FEMA Region Number 4, somewhere on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. Live at a Studio A today. Last time I checked, today is Monday, July 21st, 2025. This is show number 131.
Zach DeWack in the morning. ZachDeWack.com.
All right, here we go. Today's birthday list. Rory Culkin turns 36. Juno Temple, an actress from Ted Lasso, The Dark Knight Rises, and Atonement, is 36 as well. Turning 39 is Diane Guerrero. She's an actress from Orange is the New Black and Encanto. Betty Gilpin, an actress from Glow and Nurse Jackie in The Hunt, is 39 as well. Chriselle Staus from All My Children, Days of Our Lives, and Selling Sunset, she's 44. Justin Bartha turns 47. He's from National Treasure and The Hangover. Josh Hartnett is 47. David Dastmalchian from The Dark Knight, Ant-Man, and Dune is 50. Actress and model Ali Landry, Miss USA 1996, and The Doritos Girl, she's 52. Comedic actor John Lovitz is 68. The Doonesbury creator, cartoonist Gary Trudeau is 77. And also turning 77 years young today, Yusuf Islam, better known as Cat Stevens.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Also born on this day, Don Knotts in 1924 and Robin Williams in 1951. Astronaut Alan Shepard passed away on this day in 1998. Composer Jerry Goldsmith passed in 2004. John Hurt passed away on this day in 2017. And Tony Bennett died in his home in New York City just 2 weeks short of his 97th birthday following 7 years of Alzheimer's disease. That was in 2023. Here's special events for today. It is Be Someone Day. It's Craft for Your Local Shelters Day. It's Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Global Hug Your Kids Day. Invite an Alien to Live With You Day. I don't know whether that means illegal alien or actual alien. It's Junk Food Day, it's Legal Drinking Age Day, and it is No Pet Store Puppies Day. That's to raise public awareness of puppy mills and their connections to pet stores that sell puppies, kittens, and rabbits. The holiday also encourages people to adopt their best friend from a local shelter or rescue, or to do their research and find a legitimate breeder. And one more, it is Take a Monkey to Lunch Day. So grab your boss and take them to lunch. Just kidding. Today's number for the day is 184 million. That's the number of gallons of oil released into the ocean by the 2010 BP oil spill. The oil flowed from a broken well for 85 days straight.
It happened on this day as if you cared.
Here's this day in history. In 1873, Jesse James and the James Gang staged its first train robbery, the Rock Island Express, near Adair, Iowa. A loss of $6,000 was reported, but a gang insider said it was $65,000. In 1969, Apollo 11 astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Buzz Aldrin blasted off from the moon after 21 and a half hours on the surface and returned to the command module piloted by Michael Collins. The astronauts left behind the lunar module's lower section, on which is mounted a plaque reading, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 AD. We come in peace for all mankind." In 1972, comedian George Carlin was arrested for disorderly conduct in Milwaukee for saying on stage the 7 words performers were prohibited from saying on television. In 1988, the first known case of a bull attacking a jet plane was recorded when an Indian Airlines Boeing 737 was charged while landing at Baroda Airport in India. The bull was killed. In 1998, the roof at the Saline County Library collapsed in Benton, Arkansas from the weight of what apparently was years of accumulated pigeon dung. Okay. In 2007, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the final book in the best-selling Harry Potter series, was released. In 2011, NASA's Space Shuttle program ended with the landing of the Space Shuttle Atlantis on mission STS-135. In 2019, Marvel announced 10 new superhero films at Comic-Con. In the largest decline since World War II, it was announced that U.S. life expectancy fell by 1.5 years. And in 2022, then President Joe Biden tested positive for COVID and experienced just minor symptoms. Here's this day in entertainment. Do the Right Thing, released in 1989. What Lies Beneath, released in 2000. Lady in the Water and Clerks 2, released in 2006. Dunkirk, released in 2017, and Ozark premiered in 2017 as well, and Barbie and Oppenheimer released this day in 2023. Taking a look back at music on this day in 1969, the Beatles started work on the John Lennon song Come Together at Abbey Road Studios in London. The track became the opening song of the Beatles' Abbey Road album and was later released as a double A-sided single with Something, their 21st single in the UK and 26th in the US, where it reached the top of the charts. In 1973, Jim Croce started a 2-week run at number 1 on the singles charts with Bad Bad Leroy Brown. Croce was killed in a plane crash 3 months later. On this day in 1987, Guns N' Roses released their debut album on Geffen Records, Appetite for Destruction, featuring the singles Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child O' Mine, and Paradise City. The album now has worldwide sales in excess of 28 million, 18 of which are in the US, making it the best-selling debut album of all time. In 1994, Oasis played their first ever American show as part of the New Music Seminar at Wetlands in New York City. In 2001, Madonna kicked off the North American leg of her 47-date Drowned World Tour at the First Union Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was the singer's first world tour in 8 years, following the Girlie Show in 1993. Over 730,000 people attended the shows throughout North America and Europe, with the tour grossing over $75 million. In 2003, Coldplay singer Chris Martin was charged with malicious damage in Australia after he allegedly attacked a photographer's car after he had taken pictures of him surfing at 7 Mile Beach. Martin admitted he had lost his temper due to the constant harassment by the journalist and consequently let the air out of his tires. In 2008, the Police played their first of 2 nights at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado during the final leg of their 152-date World Reunion Tour, with revenues reaching over $340 million. On this day in 2014, Ed Sheeran was at number 1 on the UK album charts with Multiply, his second studio album. The album peaked at number 1 in 15 countries, and the lead single Sing became Sheeran's first UK number 1 song. By the end of 2014, Spotify named Multiply the most streamed album in the world for 2014, racking up more than 430 million streams for the year. In 2016, Ivanka Trump made a speech in support of her father, Donald, at the Republican National Convention, taking the podium as the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun was playing. The estate of George Harrison, who wrote the song, tweeted the unauthorized use of Here Comes the Sun at the RNC is offensive and against the wishes of George Harrison's estate. If it had been Beware of the Darkness, then we may have approved it. In 2017, Justin Bieber was banned from performing in China, according to Beijing's Culture Bureau. In a statement, the ministry said it was not appropriate to allow entertainers who have engaged in bad behavior. The pop star, who was allowed to tour in China in 2013, joined a long list of musicians who have found themselves similarly blacklisted. Most, though, like the British band Oasis and the U.S. group Maroon 5, because of perceived political statements rather than on the grounds of bad behavior. And in 2019, Ed Sheeran spent £4 million on new properties in a bid to stop his neighbors moaning about the noise. He bought 2 houses next door to his £19.8 million mansion in London. The singer had also acquired a flat above his Notting Hill bar. Sheeran's impressive portfolio of 22 properties had cost him almost £47 million. Here's some news. Discovery Channel kicks off its annual Shark Week on Sunday. Yeah, I'm spending the weekend shark-proofing our home. A nutritional study finds that less than 15% of Americans eat enough fruit. Yeah, unless you include Fruit Loops. 78% of people said they would sacrifice alcohol, social media, or sex for a year in exchange for a regular supply of caffeinated beverages. Yeah, I'd sacrifice all of those things just to get into the front of the Starbucks line. The survey finds that more than half the dogs in the U.S. are overweight, which is good news for slow-footed mail carriers. A recent study found that Alexa users trust the voice assistant because they view the Amazon device as a companion. I mean, she's certainly more friendly than my toaster. Researchers found that women tend to shop while men buy. Men are goal-oriented and to the point, while women meander and soak up multiple facets of the overall experience. Yeah, men's goal-oriented approach, buying 17 items they didn't need at Costco because they were on sale. There are around 75,000 new cases of COVID each week. This is 2025 data, and research shows that for every day someone is sick, they'll need a week of rest to fully recover. My math stinks, but I think that means if I'm sick for 12 days, I'll be watching 12 weeks of Netflix. A survey found that 8 in 10 men fantasize about being in bed with 2 women at the same time. That's crazy. Most men can't handle foreplay, let alone 4 times 2 play. A study found that the ideal length for a first date is between 1 and 2 hours. That's just enough time for her to realize she can do better. 52% of women judge a man by his shoes, while the other 48% of women judge a man by the number of stains on his t-shirt. In the aftermath, after the astronomer's CEO affair scandal, a statement purportedly from Andy Byron circulated on social media, including a quote from Coldplay's song Fix You. The fake statement originated from a spoof CBS News account.
You just got caught on the jumbo screen. Should have played it off. Why'd you act so guilty? Head up, they try the irony. Now you're gonna have to pay so much alimony. It went so viral, the whole world knows you're that one cheating CEO. Too bad it's infidelity. As a couple, they look sweet.
Now, some results of one of those studies that we didn't really need. Researchers say that homeowners burn more than 80,000 calories a year by working in the yard and doing some gardening. And while that number may seem huge, it really comes to about 220 calories a day. But since every little bit helps, keep digging in the dirt and mowing your lawn. Here's an odd survey. A little over 10% of adults consider their partner eating at their favorite fast food restaurant without them to be as bad as cheating. No, I wouldn't go that far. Do you believe in angels? Well, you're not alone. A new study analyzed survey data on the popularity of 4 different supernatural belief categories. The first and most common category is what might be considered a more traditional religious belief, such as there are angels that can affect your life, a belief held by 58% of respondents. The second category is beliefs in spiritual and mental forces, New Age stuff such as communicating with the dead or astral projection. 28% of respondents think it's possible to commune with the dead. A third category is belief in witches or witchcraft, with 21% of respondents thinking it's possible to cast spells on people. And the last category is about supernatural forces that can shape luck, though only 7% of respondents said they thought black cats can bring bad luck. Felix Baumgartner, the Australian skydiver celebrated for his incredible record-breaking jump from the stratosphere, tragically passed away in a paragliding accident in Italy on Thursday. He was 56. Baumgartner lost control of his paraglider and crashed into a hotel swimming pool where he struck a woman who sustained only minor injuries. Baumgartner gained fame for base jumping from iconic landmarks. It was his historic jump in 2012 from a pressurized capsule nearly 25 miles above Earth that cemented his legacy. During his record-setting feat, he became the first person to break the sound barrier during freefall, reaching speeds of over 840 miles an hour. Well, it turns out our canine companions aren't just mindlessly staring at the TV. They're actively engaged and have specific preferences about what they watch. A recent study from Auburn University reveals that dogs respond to television content based on both their personalities and the type of programming. The research found that 88% of dogs react to TV shows and their interests vary widely. Dogs are particularly drawn to content featuring other animals, while they tend to be more cautious when it comes to human-centered programming. Dogs show the most interest in programming featuring other animals, accounting for 25% of viewing behavior. Some dogs exhibited anticipatory following, tracking moving objects across the screen and even looking behind the TV, making up 22% of the total variance in viewing habits. The third group, making up 18%, reacted more strongly to human content or inanimate objects, particularly among dogs with higher anxiety levels. Well, a new dating app is here just for Disney and theme park enthusiasts called Single Riders. The app is designed specifically for adult fans of theme parks looking for romance or friendship. It's the brainchild of a huge Disney theme park fan who goes by the name @JoeTheBeardedNerd. Joe says the app is for Disney adults, many of whom often visit theme parks solo. Single Riders is gearing up to launch a beta version later this year. Astronomers have uncovered a giant hidden exoplanet in the Kepler-139 star system. The planet, dubbed Kepler-139f, is about twice the mass of Neptune and orbits its star every 355 days. But it had remained undetected because it does not transit its star from our line of sight. Kepler-139f is about 35 to 36 times the mass of Earth. Imagine the gravity on that planet.
We got to wrap this program to bring you something really, really, really stupid.
Well, I've searched the outernets, the internets, the outer webs, and the interwebs. This, my friends, is stupid news. A man in the UK broke into the home of a female acquaintance to steal her shoes and underwear. When police found the items in his car, the man initially said the clothing belonged to him. Prosecutors said the man admitted to stealing the clothes because he had a fetish and could not help himself. Yeah, because that's a defense. A police officer in Detroit was arrested for allegedly stealing cash from a suspect after witnessing an alleged drug deal. The suspect, a woman, complained that when she got out of jail, around $600 was missing from her purse. A druggie versus a cop. Who to believe? The department's Internal Affairs Bureau believes the woman after reviewing the officer's body camera recordings and seeing an envelope containing the money in the suspect's purse one moment and gone the next. Neuschwanstein Castle in southern Germany attracts a lot of tourists. One brought her dog on a hot summer day, and when she couldn't take it into the castle, stowed it in a locker. Other tourists objected, but the woman shoved the medium-sized dog into the locker with a stroller. Security staff were notified and freed the animal. The dog was fortunately unharmed. Officers took the dog to a police station and initiated criminal proceedings against the unnamed woman. When deputies from the Flagler County, Florida Sheriff's Office arrived early in the morning at a suspected drug house, they were greeted by a message on the doormat, "Come back with a warrant." They left, got a warrant, and returned. The occupant happened to be on the back patio and was apprehended without trouble. Inside with the warrant, deputies found alleged meth and paraphernalia. Two men in Sydney, Australia had their botched crime caught on security cameras. One fled down the street with his clothes on fire, while the other lay sprawled on the ground after slipping in a gasoline puddle he'd just made. Police noted the pair's lack of expertise, humorously observing that the footage showed anything but professionals at work. They posted the video on social media along with the comment, "It's quite clear you are not watching professionals." A drunk man who fell into a stream in China and passed out was rescued after he woke nearby residents. The residents alerted rescuers after hearing the man struggling in the water, followed by vomiting and snoring sounds. The man passed out again after reaching the stream bank. A crafty fox in Grand Teton National Park has gained notoriety for stealing shoes from unsuspecting campers. Recently, the furry trickster swiped an astonishing 19 shoes, prompting the National Park Service to install signs advising visitors to secure their footwear in tents, vehicles, or bear boxes. Despite warnings, the fox has continued making off with an additional 32 shoes. The Goodman Mountain Trail in Tupper Lake, New York is closed once again due to a bull moose that has made itself at home in the area. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation announced the closure, which began on June 6th following reports of the moose displaying unusual behavior, potentially linking it to an underlying illness. The DEC says illnesses can lead to unpredictable actions in moose, increasing the risk of dangerous encounters with humans. A tourist was recently caught on video drinking water from one of the Yellowstone National Park's thermal pools. The video, shared on the Instagram account Turons of Yellowstone, showed a man in an orange shirt and cargo shorts kneeling on a wooden bridge, taking a sip of the thermal water before shaking off residue and walking away. Drinking from the untreated thermal springs is extremely hazardous. The water is not only hot, but also acidic, containing sulfuric acid from below the surface. Oh, and the thermal waters in Yellowstone are laced with harmful levels of arsenic, mercury, fluoride, along with pathogens such as E. coli and the Glaria, the latter of which is a known brain-eating amoeba. He probably doesn't have to worry about that. A fugitive wanted for fraud in China was laying low as a janitor. Her plan was working, and she'd been successfully evading investigators until someone noticed she started driving a very nice late-model BMW to work. Then she began implying to coworkers that she owned property worth millions. A manager was so impressed with the janitor's story, he contacted local media about doing an interview, which is how police found her. And that, my friends, is stupid news.
Here's your highly scientific and completely infallible and often inscrutable guaranteed horoscope for today.
Here are your horoscopes for Monday, July 21st, 2025. Mercury is in a reverse Uno mode and your chakras are arguing over the thermostat. If today is your birthday, you are a Cancer. Today, your emotions reach critical mass and briefly achieve sentience. They now identify as Carl and have joined a book club. You are still not invited. Leo, you demand the spotlight so hard today that the sun files a restraining order. Still, your outfit will blind at least 2 pigeons and a local weatherman. Success.
I can't believe how stupid he is.
Virgo, your calendar is perfectly color-coded, but your soul is a chaos gremlin. You'll alphabetize your bookshelf by scent, then spiral because someone put Twilight under tea and not sparkly regret.
If you're gonna reminisce, I'm afraid I'll be forced to call social services.
Libra, you'll be offered 2 choices today, peace or pizza. Naturally, you choose both, which causes a brief collapse in the space-time continuum. NASA is on the line again.
You know what? He smells.
Scorpio, you give off such intense vibes today that 3 people mistake you for a government experiment. You spend the afternoon smoldering in a coffee shop and accidentally start a cult.
Get out of the car!
Sagittarius, your wanderlust peaks and you attempt to book a spontaneous flight to Atlantis. After 3 hours on hold with customer service, you settle for kayaking in your bathtub. It still counts.
Now get out of here, you angry inch!
Capricorn, you achieve 5 goals before breakfast and still feel vaguely disappointed. Don't worry, a mysterious raccoon will show up to challenge you to a game of existential chess. That's snacks.
But what is this?
Aquarius, you invent a new language made entirely of eyebrow movements and passive-aggressive post-its. Your coworkers are confused. Your plants are thriving. Your cat suspects everything.
Dude, this is bullshit.
Pisces, you accidentally astral project into a Home Goods and return with 6 throw pillows and no memory of how you got there. It's okay. Those pillows now hold all your secrets.
Excellent work, me!
Aries, you will wake up with the confidence of a billionaire tech bro and the coordination of a drunken ferret. Try not to challenge your toaster to a duel. It's been training for this moment.
Here you go.
Taurus, you finally achieve inner peace right before the office microwaves explode your leftover risotto. Don't worry, your coworkers now see you as a tragic hero or a rice-covered liability.
Remember cock? Please give me cock. Oh, please give me cock. I want a cock.
And finally, Gemini, your 2 personalities file for joint custody of your weekend plans. You end up binge-watching a Swedish crime drama while eating nachos and chopsticks. Honestly, ironic.
Here we go.
Here's your cosmic bonus. Venus is drunk and sending everyone embarrassing dreams tonight. Good luck explaining to your boss why you called them dad in your sleep.
I cleaned up your garbage because I'm a better person than you.
And those are your official Dweck in the Morning Horrible Scopes. Remember,
Don't leave home without them.
It's time.
The job well done.
you've been listening to That Always First, Never Last podcast with me, your doomsday host, the incredible edible Mr. Zach Wackolina. You can connect with me at ZachTheWack.com. That's ZACKDAWACK. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, MySpace, The Comic Strip, The Yellow Pages, Telepathy, Western Union, or call or text 984-DWACK1. That's 984-329-2251. Like this show, follow us or subscribe, and please share this show with your friends. Available to hear on my host, Podbean, that's PODBEAN, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and all other podcasting apps, or at ZachTheWack.com, if that's easier for you. Thank you to all the awesome wackos, weirdos, reverts, preverts, dingbats, and jelloheads anonymous for any all listens you can give. It means a lot. I'm out of here like Vladimir until next time, and there will be a next time. Don't forget me, I won't forget you. I am Zach DeWack, saying if I'm lying, I'm dying. Grits ate groceries, eggs ate poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man. I'll be back Friday for another silly edition of the DeWack in the Morning program. I will talk to you then. Same whack time, same whack channel. Whack out.
Have a nice day.
Made in Georgia.
Copyright 2025.